7. Did you know there are thousands of Melbourne apartments that developers cannot sell? Want to know where Melbourne's suburbs with hundreds of cheap brand new apartments are? And these revelations have led to questions about the Victorian State Government's housing strategy. G'day and welcome to This Property Life. Our story is commercial property development in Melbourne, Australia. Hundreds of other unsold units are also in suburbs earmarked for major apartment development under the Victorian State Government's Activity Centre planning overhaul, which is sparking concerns about whether property developers will be willing to build the apartments that the government envisions. Victorian State Government is being urged to create new tax breaks to help clear the stock and ease housing pressure as experts and industry bodies cast doubt on the Victorian State Government's ability to achieve its ambitious housing supply goals. We're putting up a graphic from Charter Keck Kramer, sourced from the Melbourne Age, April the 4th, 2025. G'day and welcome to This Property Life. We tell stories and our story is commercial property and development in Melbourne, Australia. Richard Temlett, Carter Keck Kramer's National Executive Director, said that Jacinta Allen's Victorian government would fail to meet its housing supply targets unless the apartments were sold, as developers would be unlikely to initiate new projects. Richard Temlett said unsold stock was significantly cheaper than the newest cycle of apartments due to the rising costs of construction. The unsold apartments can be bought for about $8,000 to $10,000 per square metre, while apartments entering the market now need to be priced at $12,500 to $15,000 per square metre. And according to Richard Temlett, it is a concern from the developer's perspective because that stock needs to be removed from the market so it's not competing with new stock on price point. He also said it is a major issue because it's holding back new supply and housing is only going to get more unaffordable and rents will increase more. And finally, the advisory firm is also calling on Victorian State Government to remove stamp duty on the old stock for at least 18 months for local and foreign investors, who would then rent the units out to key workers or middle income earners at below the market rate. Foreign investors would also be exempt from the additional purchaser duty under the proposal by Richard Temlett at the advisory firm Carter Keck Kramer. This story, the Melbourne suburbs with hundreds of cheap brand new apartments, was reported on by Daniella White of the Melbourne Age on the 4th of April 2025 at 5:30 a.m. This Property Life is produced by Wise Words Media. We're based in Melbourne, Australia, and bringing you coverage, information and news on all things in the commercial property sector in Melbourne, Australia, as well as news on Australia's housing crisis, affordable housing issues which are being experienced on a worldwide and global scale.
We apologise for any inconvenience caused.
G'day and welcome to This Property Life. We tell stories and our story is commercial property development and also news of Australia's housing crisis.